Chapter 57, Sly. The Shadow Order faux officer uniform is a little big on me even after it shrunk, but if I tuck in the sleeves and keep my chin up, it should be more than convincing enough. A backup plan in case something wrong happens is the razor wire where they bring down the ladder is a little lighter, so if I'm discovered, the guards would be distracted with wherever I'd be, and with their backs turned, some of us will be able to be hoisted up over the wall without risk of getting pricked. But that whole plan is out of the picture right now because there are guards all around the wall, and they look like they're drugged with forever awake caffeine pills. But I've broken into worse than this. I walk over. "Can you bring down the ladder?" I call. "What business is it?" asks the officer in charge of it. "High up asked me to come in for some backup assistance. Can't talk about it. It's something near the old temple." "Don't recognize you." "I'm a new recruit from this here Shadow Order. Got assigned." Apparently this group is good enough at their anonymity. Once I flash my stolen symbol, which is apparently their big secret code of allegiance, they decide to bring down the ladder and I'm good to go. Something I take note of is there aren't many guards around the actual inside of the wall. Either that or they're confident enough in their tech and cameras that they need not worry about anyone sneaking in. I'm actually feeling a bit queasy, and it's not because I'm scared. The ground is strangely vibrating and it's making me seasick. I see a fair few tree stumps too, but only near the wall. It looks like the rest of Miss Ruby's old home is still pretty ripe with resources and rot. I look around. No one is watching me. I still find a tree and crouch down behind it. I then take out my binocucom. "Bentley, you there?" "Slow I?" That was Bentley and his comm was fuzzy. "Can you hear me, Bentley?" "Not do good. Communication add." Must be that field motion sensor or something. "See if you can find where it's coming from." "Bentley, if you can hear me, is there any more info about this place you can read, or any hint of what I should look for?" "It's thing it and be small. If you can find it, I manually degreasing it." Roger. One thing I definitely remember about this place was the water was very disgusting, with massive mosquitoes, chomping spiders, and ghastly ghosts. I think I hear some insects buzzing, but nothing ginormous. And I don't see any of Miss Ruby's old army of monkeys or chickens, and I guess they all disbanded long ago when they escaped her methods of persuasion. But there was still also that giant sea creature that almost ate me. Basically, there's a lot I remember. And one thing I definitely don't remember from last time was feeling motion sickness or our comms being wonky. The camera in my binocucom still works, and I begin taking pictures. I don't take many of the interior side of the wall, because with my own eyes I can see it's just as sturdy and unclimbable on this side. The fact there aren't any trees around presents an additional problem if I want to get my whole gang here. If I plant dynamite or something, I'd have to ignite it right away, or else it would be completely seeable for any and all guards if I hesitated or tried to plant it for later, near enough to the wall that anyone would easily spot it. It's kind of hard to decide what to take pictures of because this is mostly just plain jungle. I decide to play my own hot and cold game, where I see which parts make me more or less nauseous. It ends up relatively easy at first because the more I go in, the more I really wish we had more healthy stuff for dinner last night. I also think I overhear something miserable, something very sad, like someone's transmitting sad mojo to me, and it's in a whispering voice that's kind of familiar. I make it up to Ms. Ruby's gate. It's locked, but instead of finding and pickpocketing a key, I notice a tree right near the gate that's probably taller than it used to be, and I climb up it and hop the fence with it. It's then when I see a strange silver device. It's shaped like a giant satellite. And now I really need something for my blasting headache. This is definitely it, and it's no wonder no one else is around here. I wouldn't survive this for 10 minutes. I look at my electromagnetic pulse bombs Bentley gave me. They could easily forever short-circuit this. But if I do that, they'll definitely know there was a breach. I remember Bentley's static words and look around as fast as I can. My head is honestly spinning, but I find, heaven thank you, a fuse box. and in it is a dial where I manage to turn the frequency down. I don't turn it right off, but I step way back from it, and though my head's still pounding, it's not getting worse. Okay, Bentley, you hear me any better? I say after I'm a fair distance away. Yeah, what did you do? Actually, easy peasy. Didn't need to be a brainiac. Although, wait, something else is still around. What is it? That troubling sad noise. Troubling sad noise? That's Murray on the mic. Yeah, Murray, I say. Something really upset. I've been hearing it too. You have? I say. How? I only started hearing it a while ago. I've been hearing it since we got here. You mean that wailing you heard but we didn't? Asks Carmelita. I remember telling you it must have been in your big hippo head, says Dimitri, and now Cooper all of a sudden hears it too? I can feel a bit of altitude with it, I go on. It must be in her old lair, the Skull Temple. Yeah, says Bentley. Now that communication is not being as disrupted by the field frequency, I can detect some strange movement and dark magic. How I got up there last, I say, mostly to myself, was I used this weird voodoo egg beater. I walk over to where I vaguely remember it, making it past a gate that's really been taken over by nature. It was open anyway. They had a lid to their giant cauldron, and once I was able to close it, the steam pressure was enough to have it pop off with me standing on it, and it was enough to fly me up to the temple. That seems like a lot of work, comments Branwell. Why'd you have to go for that? When I came after Sly years ago at this place, says Carmelita, I interrogated some of her guards. Apparently her juju allowed the mouth of that temple to open down like a staircase. She controlled whether it was open or closed, like a door only she could unlock. I remember that, I comment. I guess that was how she got her teeth to bang when I first fought her. I arrive, and I have to say, the place looks rather different, especially the actual temple. Maybe it's only because I saw it in nighttime before. In daylight it looks much different, especially with all the plants growing around it. I also hear something up there, like an engine. Well, someone's found their own way up there, and it doesn't look like it was from steam pressure. What makes you say that, Sly? Asks Bentley. The swamp's dried up. The cauldron isn't brewing anything either. What does the temple look like? Asks Thornell. It looks kind of abandoned, with a lot of greenery now growing around it. Even in the dark, I don't remember it being like that. Must be all evidence of Ms. Ruby not being around anymore. But the plants look too thin to be strong enough for me to climb on. Can you take a picture of it for me? Okay. I do so. Do you see it, Thornell? Yes. Be careful, that tower is laced with poison ivy. What? In fact, it's coated in it. You'd better hope there isn't a forest fire. Or swamp fire. Climbing might not be the smartest move, Sly, says Bentley, but maybe we can figure out a way to paraglide you in if we find a good vantage point. Wait, I interrupt. The entrance is moving. This is the first time I've seen the mouth of the Skull Temple move from the outside. I run up but keep quiet, and it takes me a minute to recognize the figure emerging from the mouth, but it's none other than Roger Silvio. I don't know what makes me do it, but I snap a photo. Forgetting that it's shared to the others right away, I hear Branwell begin a scream and then stifle it. I can understand that kind of reaction. I don't hear what he's saying, but I see the mouth begin to close back up. I decide to go for it. Ever since it opened, the groaning voice seemed more and more close. I run, dive, and make it in without anyone noticing me. Hopefully I can figure a way back out. Miss Ruby's temple is definitely bigger looking inside than out. It has its own ecosystem, and I may not be a genius in this field like Bentley or Thornell, but I know sitting water absolutely reeks. Logically, the ponds in the temple should not be able to flow and clean themselves, but they do. I guess they drained the pond in the temple's entryway at least. It's now all grass and shrubs, when it used to be a lake of grime I had to jump over to get to Ms. Ruby herself. It figures. I wouldn't expect Roger Silvio to be able to pull off my maneuvers. I hear machinery up ahead, I whisper, and there's also a strange whiff in the air. And do you hear the moaning? Pipes in Murray. I'm feeling it in me like a headache now. It feels sort of like when the Contessa did what she did to me. This has me worried. What am I walking into? Nearing the end, I crawl, and when I peek open, I can't believe my eyes. It's Penelope and Raleigh. Their blimp is also here, grounded, but plugged into some kind of conveyor belt contraption, and on it are those rocks they stole from ancient Egypt. It looks like the rocks are being slowly put on the belt by Raleigh, and Penelope's keeping watch over them as they head to some dastardly cauldron. I then see her take a giant spoon and go stir. It's here where the moaning is the loudest it's been yet, and it takes me a second to realize I don't just hear it in my mind, I hear the real thing, and it's a little more down, and what I see nearly stops my heart cold. Attached to some sort of blinky metal helmet and cuffed tight to a chair is my old friend and Cooper Gang accomplice, the Guru.